Yo, you guys ready for the mailbag?
You know it. Boom.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's start with Randall Vasquez, and the subject is Brian Cage and Kevin Kross. Hey guys, you recently spoke about Brian Cage potentially joining WWE with his wife. Is this a good idea? They just had Kross, a good-looking badass with a smoking hot, talented wife. They had no idea what to do with him. It's long been believed that Vince only likes stars that he created himself, as he's so petty that he viewed guys like Kross as Triple H guys. Conan and Joe, if you're looking for a great read, check out Danny Trejo's autobiography. It's from Randy Vasquez. He's a Patreon member. Kross got fired because he wouldn't get vaccinated. So I don't know what Cage's deal is. So
Right. Plus, Vince was high on him because he gave him that gladiator gimmick. So he was going to look like he was going to push him, and he had rehabilitated him after he got beat by Hardy, which is as confusing decision as I've ever seen when the guy was coming undefeated out of NXT. But there's a very good chance I will be working with both of them next year.
Nice.
And we'll be having a lot of fun.
remember you had a Cage and Kross. I think one of the last shows you had them on, you had them as a team, and they were just destroyed everybody.
Right.
Well, let me ask you a question. You guys, your locker room has a lot of egos in AAA, I imagine. Like some of the veteran guys.
Like every locker room.
What would they feel like, if you brought these guys in and say, hey, you guys, he's going to lay all you guys out tonight?
It's a different locker room. It's a different locker room. I took out all the guys that didn't want to do jobs, that were being a problem, and people are learning to be professional. And
can you name names?
I don't have no, because I have to work with them, bro.
Right.
So
they know who they are,
and they're all sensitive. They all act like nothing bothers them, but it does, because they always either get drunk or catch me on a bus somewhere and they're, hey man, that wasn't cool. Why'd you say that? And I go, because it's the truth. And they're like, well, you didn't have to be such a I go, well, don't be such a pain in the ass, So I'd rather not say anything, because almost all guys can't handle the truth. And then It just leads to bad feelings in the dressing room. Like when I go to AEW and certain guys don't even talk to me because I know
who doesn't talk.
We said again, same problem. I don't want to get into
the question, but based on what we've talked about on this show.
Right.
Okay, I would suggest that you probably maybe have a little chilly relationship with Cody.
Right.
Okay, probably a little chilly relationship with
Dark Order.
Dark Order.
Right.
But it's
boy
like
Camarado.
Right, yeah. What's his name? Bonini.
No, Cesar Bonini.
I don't think me and Bonini have had many run-ins.
I've used him as a thing, because I thought the guy was. I actually, you know what? I kind of feel a bit bad, right? Because I basically have mentioned on this show before that there are guys that shouldn't be on TV, and that's kind of harsh. If you think about it, it's a good, but that's just my opinion. But it's weird. I wouldn't.
That isn't harsh. It is the truth.
No. But let me tell you why it's harsh. Because if I was working at AEW and I was an agent, okay, I wouldn't go to Bonini and say you shouldn't be on TV.
Right.
Okay, I would be like in the production meeting. If they brought this guy's, I'd say, why do we keep using this guy? He's too green for the show.
But you're not an agent. You're a podcaster, critiquing, provocateur, and you're keeping it real. So I mean, what the the only time I feel bad is when I meet people and they're really cool, but I'm like, well, it isn't nothing personal. If it was something personal where I'm saying, hey, like personal, I would feel bad. But we don't really get into people's personal. It's all work related. It's all performance related. If you're not good on the mic, and if you are good on the mic, we put you over. And same thing with your work rate, and if you can't take it, too bad. That's all there is to it, bro. People critique everything we do, our podcast, my booking, I don't. You know why I don't read comments? Never, ever, because I don't give a. I just know what works. I know what doesn't work, and I don't need to read a lot of miserable to get the one or two good comments. So I just don't read, and that way I don't have to worry about getting mad at anybody. And really the only people that ever aggravate me are people I know. If I know you and you're talking bad about me, I will get aggravated because we're friends. But anybody else I don't give a about, because I don't know them. I'm not going to meet them. We probably never will meet.
Right. And plus, too, is we said in the show repeatedly, the critiques that we give, for work and stuff, everything, we've been agents we've been in the writing. We've been office.
Right.
You know, we've been, like, bro,
We've
these
been
are
wrestlers.
conversations. If when they finished performing, if I was their agent and they came back through the curtain, my critique I give on the show is exactly what I would be telling them.
Not only that,
why did you know
what I think gives us also credibility? Because when they listen to other matches and they hear how we critique them, they're like, well, they're being real about that. Why aren't they being real about me?
Right, we're not picking on anybody. Right.
Right. If you look at it that way, it's like, hey, we're across the board fair. You know, it isn't here just to shock jock or get.
A perfect example. Who was the one guy in the WWE I was probably the most critical of for probably 2 straight years on this show?
Seth Rollins.
Okay? Then all of a sudden...
Now we love him.
Okay, now Seth Rollins was doing stuff like that I enjoyed, and I'm like,
Right.
you critique it, like, you know, and just like, bro, it's like, say, no, but you can't sit there saying like,
bro, and not only that, I read
what I see.
I read an interview the other day where the guy was saying that Vince did something to him. He said he literally wanted to go over there and choke him. So even Seth knows they gave him. You think Seth was happy with that eye versus eye match? Right. I doubt I have to call him to find out.
Right.
You know,
and because you know Dom and you know Ray,
right.
and you know you were talking to him the whole time.
Right.
You know, right. So something counts.